submarine fleet strength by country. मतलब सबमरीन दी किन्नी ताकतवर आ सबमरीन्स कंट्रीज़ दे मुताबिक केड़े कंट्री को ज़्यादा डाडी वधिया सबमरीन वाला हिसाब है ते केड़े को नहीं है समझ रहे हो ना ते वीडियो बनांदे आ जॉनी हैरिस जिन्हां दी पहलां भी मैं वीडियोज़ कुछ वेखियां ने सिद्धी जेह्ड़ी गल्ल है ते क्यों नहीं ਇਹ ਵੀ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਵੇਖਨੇ ਆ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਸਮਝਨੇ ਆ ਸੁਣਨੇ ਆ ਕੁਝ ਇਨਫੋ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗੂਗੀ ਸਬਮਰੀਨ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ
This is every military submarine on Earth.
Okay.
At least the ones we know about. I've separated them out by each country.
Oh, that's sick, dude.
Whoever rules the waves rules the world is a saying that rings especially true in recent years as global power dynamics are shifting before our eyes.
ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਗੜਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਗੜਾ ਹੈ ਪਾਣੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਇਕਵਿਪਮੈਂਟ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਕੰਟਰੀ ਦੀਆਂ ਤਗੜੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਸਮਝ ਲਓ ਅਸਲ ਤਗੜਾ ਹੈ ਅਸਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਗੜਾ ਸਮਝ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਨਾ
Submarines represent ocean power. So today let's look at the 471 known military submarines and which countries they belong to, both big and small. I want to do this so that we can see how countries use these vessels not only to protect their country but also to project power.
Poland.
Of the 43 countries that have subs, most just have small fleets. Less than a dozen. By the way, experts argue about these numbers. If you want to see our methodology here, you can go to our sources, link in the description, to explore country by country how we got these numbers and specs.
Bro, Poland just got one, dude. I guess Poland also don't need many. It's not that kind of country as well. मतलब कोई ज़्यादा वार वूर या लड़ाकू शड़ाकू ज़्यादा you know उस टाइप का कंट्री नहीं है समझ रहे हो ना कोई डाडा तगड़ा लड़ाइयां लुड़ियां वाला नहीं है तो आई गैस उन्होंने ज़्यादा चाहिए भी कोई नहीं है भी निक्का जा कंट्री है सो दैट्स व्हाई आई गैस बट अदर पर ज़्यादा मकिन मैं ये वेखांगे और पर ज़्यादा मैनू लगता दो ही होवन दियां ते
And yes, these submarines are to scale. These smaller countries want submarines for slightly different reasons than the big countries. For these small navies, having even one submarine is a major level up because submarines are designed to be invisible, to lurk and spy and be ready to attack at any moment. Their great advantage is that your enemy has no idea where they are, so they have to assume that they could be anywhere.
They can go underwater, you know.
These submarines are also much smaller than the ones we'll see later on when we get to the big navies. And almost all of them have a massive limitation, which is that they're powered by diesel engines that need oxygen to run. This means,
with the exception of Spain and Sweden, that both have submarines with air-independent propulsion, allowing them to operate without oxygen. Yo, that's sick.
That the submarine has to go to the surface every so often to run these loud engines to charge the batteries on the sub before diving back down again.
Oh, I see.
This makes these submarines less effective than nuclear-powered submarines that we'll see later. These submarines could stay underwater basically forever. That is, if they didn't have humans aboard that needed to come to the surface for food and supplies. I made a whole video about the fascinating technology and history of submarines if you want to learn more. But let's keep going.
Cool, dude. Bro, look at the comparison, dude. Like that Azerbaijan and other ones. Damn.
Meant to patrol and protect a country's coastal waters, the ocean close by, making anyone think twice before attacking that country. Though we're arriving at a bit of an exception to this, Israel. Israel currently has 5 very modern submarines, 2 of which can stay underwater for up to a week without needing to take in oxygen, making them stealthier than the older diesel models and allowing them to carry smaller weapons like torpedoes or anti-ship missiles or mines. Israel's
By the way, I was not showing to you guys middle finger, of course not.
Believes and has said, even though Israel uses these, hoping that these nuclear-armed submarines would make Iran think twice before ever striking Germany, a country that is coming up here soon.
Peru, Vietnam, Norway, Algeria.
Germany has 6 super powerful long-range submarines of their own, but they also build and export submarines all over the world. Here we have Australia, which has a relatively small fleet of diesel submarines. But this is going to change soon. Thanks to a historic deal with the UK and US, Australia will soon have super advanced nuclear-powered submarines.
Right. Wow,
They're
okay.
buying this from the United States.
Okay.
This is all a part of the US's effort of arming and strengthening its alliances in China's neighborhood. By the way, this is where you'll start to see us moving into more powerful navies.
Singapore. Pakistan! 8. Let's
These
go.
navies use their submarines not just to protect their coastline and coastal waters, but to project power in their region. So you'll start to see bigger
Egypt.
and more advanced diesel submarines, but we'll also start to see submarines that run on nuclear
Damn,
energy,
France got 9, dude.
like these French and British subs.
And they are huge. Look at that
These
last
submarines
one.
have a nuclear
10.
reactor on board that breaks apart atoms and creates an immense amount of energy that heats up water and powers the submarine.
Wow.
Do this basically forever.
Forever,
Without having to
oh.
go to the surface for air. This
Sheesh.
process also makes
Technology,
oxygen and
bro.
drinkable water for the sailers. Having a
Sick.
nuclear reactor on board is a game changer for subs because it allows them to silently patrol the seas, traveling long
Yeah.
distances and projecting power to regions that are important to them.
Greece got
Here
10.
come the fleets of Greece and Turkey. They have a similar number of subs because both countries see securing their water as very important. And while they don't have nuclear power plants on board, both countries have subs that don't require as much oxygen as typical diesel subs, allowing them to stay underwater for much longer. This is also where you start to see submarines that are equipped with the most powerful weapons of all.
Oh.
India currently has at least 2 submarines that, as far as we know, are not only powered by nuclear energy, but can also launch rockets with nuclear warheads on them. They have a range of
Sheesh.
around 700 kilometers. And they're working on 2 more, which could potentially increase that range to more like 3,500 kilometers.
Wow.
They're
Damn,
also planning
India.
to build a fleet of at least 6 modern attack submarines that are quicker and that are meant to accompany and support these nuclear-armed subs. Though it's hard to know the full picture because a lot of the details from the Indian Army are kept secret. If you want, you can look at my sources for more details on this reporting.
Okay, at least they're working on
They
something.
don't have
Damn.
nuclear capabilities on their submarines, but they do have a lot of subs. These 4 big
I hope Pakistan
diesel-powered
is too.
submarines and at least 15 of these mini subs. They use these to patrol their coastal waters, through which a lot of valuable oil flows.
Oh.
We've got 6 countries left, and this is where things get really big, really fast.
Oh, those are looking big, dude.
Here are 2 countries that have a lot in
22.
common.
South Korea.
Both are high-tech
Japan,
economies,
22.
both are close friends with the United States, both are
Right.
deeply reliant on the ocean. And
Okay.
crucially, both countries are surrounded by rival countries with
Oh,
strong
North
navies.
Korea, Russia, China.
One of those neighbors is the Hermit Kingdom of North Korea. We don't know how big North Korea's fleet is, for obvious reasons. Experts think they could have as many as 85 submarines, but here I'm going to visualize a more conservative estimate of 36 submarines.
85 is
This
a
info
lot,
is
dude.
gleaned
It's
by
so much.
satellite imagery on naval bases like this one. But regardless of the specific number, we do know that it's a pretty big submarine fleet. It rivals some of the great powers, at least in terms of numbers. But experts disagree about how functional all of these subs really are. Some of these boats are at least 50 years old. It has around 8 diesel
Damn, that
subs
is hella old.
of long-range patrols. And then they have these 2. They're diesel-powered, and even though they can't stay underwater for more than just a few days, they do have the ability to shoot 4 ballistic missiles armed with nuclear warheads. With a
Okay.
likely range that could easily reach Japan, or
Shit.
even Guam and Hawaii, a part of the United States.
Whoa.
Now we're moving into
North
the
Korea
big
not
3
coming
nations,
slow, huh?
The countries that use their subs to project power at each other and around the world.
China.
China has 58
Wow.
submarines. 6
Wow.
of these subs are capable of firing rockets
What
with
do we
nuclear
have here?
weapons, and 6 more are attack submarines powered by nuclear energy. But the majority of China's submarines are still the older diesel-powered kind.
Ah.
But not for long. What China's rivals see when they look at this fleet is more like this. In the next 6 years, China's fleet will include at least 5 new nuclear-powered subs. 2 of them are going to be able to launch ballistic missiles with nuclear weapons on them, and 3 of them will be able to launch cruise missiles. They're even getting Russia's help to build a new, extra-quiet, extra-stealthy ballistic missile sub that the US is worried about because it'll be nearly impossible for them to track. They're doing this in part as a response to the US selling this submarine technology to Australia. But it's also a part of China's bigger goal of being a global superpower like the US. Who can project power to every ocean in the world. This will be difficult for them, first and foremost because the US and its allies have created a chain of military installations here in the Pacific. This allows them to track Chinese submarines trying to leave the region. But it will also be difficult because China lags quite a bit behind the US when it comes to creating stealthy submarines. It's a gap that they are working hard to close.
I thought they were...
Russia has the second largest fleet.
I thought China was, more into... way farther than US, so they are kind of behind, huh? At least in submarine stuff, bro. After we are still gonna watch it, at the end, but still I can, you can tell so much goes on in the water, dude. It's not just empty, it's not just water. A lot of stuff is going on down there,
62 submarines in total.
62. Wow.
We've just made a massive...
Of course.
This fleet is a huge step up from China's. Half of the fleet is powered by nuclear energy. And 12 of these subs can launch nuclear weapons. Something that they remind the world of by conducting these tests that show off their subs launching these rockets. Obviously without the nukes on board. These other subs are attack submarines, which are quick, hard to track. They can launch missiles with a range of 600 kilometers that are precise and able to hit a land-based target on the east coast of the United States if they were here in the Atlantic Ocean. And this gets to a really important use of submarines at this level, their ability to lurk around the globe. Russia quietly sends its nuclear-armed subs to key regions that puts their enemies and rivals in range. It's a part of their nuclear deterrent, the threat that if they are attacked, they have the capability to strike back with nukes, and no one can know exactly from where. In recent years, Russia shocked the world by unveiling this long-range nuclear-powered torpedo called Poseidon. It can travel 185 kilometers an hour, underwater, and it can hit targets as far away as 1,000 kilometers.
Wow.
And it apparently carries a 100 megaton nuclear warhead that can create a radioactive tsunami. We're not 100% sure how much of this is real and how much is Russian propaganda. But it just goes to show you how crazy our advanced technology is becoming here.
Yeah.
Okay, we've made it to number 1. The United States, which unambiguously is the most powerful submarine force in the world. Not just by numbers, but by capability. All 68 of these subs are powered by nuclear energy.
Wow.
Most of these are attack submarines, which are smaller and quicker. They're meant for battle with their torpedoes and sea mines and shorter range weapons. Like these 4 submarines can each be loaded up with 154 cruise missiles. Missiles that have a range of 1,000 kilometers and are very precise. Then we get to these 14 subs, which are huge. You can really see it when you look at them out of the water. Wow. These submarines can carry up to 24 missiles, each of them capable of carrying multiple nuclear warheads. These things can travel up to 12,000 kilometers, which is nearly a third the Earth's circumference. And at any given moment, 8 of these are lurking around the world's oceans, carrying some 720 nuclear warheads between them. And no one knows where, and that's the whole point. They are a foundational part of the US's nuclear deterrent, a constant reminder that attacking the US could easily provoke a response from one of these hidden subs. This is what controlling the ocean really looks like.
That is, bro, that is.
One of the ways that the US has maintained its place as the most powerful country on Earth. To keep this position, in 2020, the US started building 12 new massive submarines to replace these 14 aging nuclear-armed subs. They will be completed in 2042.
2042?
So, those are the world's submarines, and a little bit about their strategic application. There's so much more to cover about submarines and naval strategy. So please tell me what questions you have, or what else I should cover on this topic in the future. Thanks for watching.
Wow. Really good video, dude. Really good video. Sahi gall hai. I really liked it. I really liked it, bro. Like I did not know this much about Submarine. I might watch the other Submarine video together with you guys, which he mentioned in the video. But yeah, I did not like. I knew about submarines and all that, how kind of how they are in the water and doing their thing. But I did not know like how these all these country have how many submarines and how powerful they are, and how nuclear submarines are better than the other ones. But yeah, amazing video. Johnny Harris, as always, really good video, man. Really good video. Matlab, like every video, best information, new information, different information. And yeah, like even the last video I saw, I saw his last video, that 25,000 living lifestyle versus 25 million lifestyle. That video was really good as well, man. And yeah, I loved this one way more than that. Yeah, amazing video, man.